Let's get ready to throw down.
Man, let's end on that real quick. This has been a pretty wide-ranging episode. Clint, you have any parting words as a D based on the stuff we talked about tonight? Any nuggets from you?
Yeah, I mean, guys, personality is everything, and I think we say this a lot, or maybe I do, but the quicker you find out what you are, it's so much easier to realize across the table. But to go a little bit further into that, you really have to narrow down what you truly believe, because you think, or the outside part of you wants to just jump in because it's physically appealing or it physically feels good, doesn't necessarily match with your mental well-being in the situation. So there's a lot of emotions and stuff that you need to figure out as an adult, and stuff that you felt at 23 versus 33 or 63 aren't always going to align. So don't pick a hard line in the sand and just run with that and say, I am this one person, because you're not. You can be so many different people in so many different situations. So, to me, personality is everything. Learn it, school yourself in it, get a college, get a PhD in personality training, man, because it's worth every penny.
Al, what you got?
I'm going to jump back to our original topic or supposition was, likability. And if it is easy enough and direct enough to just show up and be consistent about showing up, well, if that improves your likability, then anybody can do that.
Nan, what you got?
Just to not think there's a perfect question, perfect personality. And I think it's, from what everyone said, I think your emotions should be in check. There's no perfect emotion. Who's to say you shouldn't cry, you should cry, or whatever. There's no perfect emotion. Just figure out what the best way to handle every situation is. And that's really broad, but I think it kind of goes with what we've all spoken about.
Yeah. So for the C's out there, I've spent a lot of time trying to be likable through other people's lenses, right? Whenever I was working with Al and Nan, and I would be in the halls, because that was the thing. Al always told me, like, hey, just be a fixture in the back halls of these things, be a fixture in the office, and eventually, right, when you put in enough time and you're yourself. And it was funny because whenever Al and I were talking about working together, he was like, man, you have some really cool things that make you unique, that'll make you easier to have conversations with these people. And I was like, okay, but there's a certain amount of time I think you have to put in to build the confidence, so that way you can be your authentic self in any circle you want. And I was not comfortable trying to be myself in that role, right? For a couple of reasons, right? I was way younger. I hadn't done any of this training. I didn't know myself, but also I kind of felt like there's not very many people for me to call on. I can't blow any of these, conversations. And so, but looking back on that now, if I had just been the most authentic version of myself, right, might not have gotten any more doors open, but I would have felt better at the end of the day, as opposed to feeling like I'm one person as a salesperson and one person as, a dad, a partner, all these things that, that I do. So, it's worth putting in the time so that way you can be yourself. And I think a lot of that starts with being self-aware. It's not enough that you can point out somebody else's D-ness or I-ness or, whatever it is. You have to know, how is that person going to view the things that I want to talk about from their lens, right? And that only happens when you spend enough time to really understand how you come across to the other four corners. So,
yeah.
I like it. Yeah.
And hey, John, I'm going to add to that, because I think C's of all people on this, on the personality spectrum, struggle with that likability the most, because it's not the people that are very social and out there. And I will tell you this, that every person that I know that's like yourself, that's very data facts, kind of, I don't really, not sociable. I don't want to go out and have drinks. I'd rather go home and, let's just say, play my Xbox till 3 a.m, right? Because it's just who I am. Introverts, right? I like you for that. I love you for that. I don't like you when you step out of that bounds and try to be me. I don't need another me. I am me, right? I want some diversity. Everybody does, right? I want to build that. That's why this works so well. The D, I, S, and C that's sitting on this podcast. we can go out and have a great time, and we're all completely different with different views, but it works because we're diverse, and diverse is interesting. Being the same is not.
Absolutely.
Well said. Good job.
So guys, if you are in sales and you know somebody else who is in sales and they're struggling with everything that's going on right now, some of these budgets are smaller. It's more difficult to get into offices. We're coming up on fourth quarter, which is, I mean, we're in fourth quarter, so we're in the last sprint of the year, and a lot of people are going to be out and everything else like this. Now is not the time to take your foot off the gas, right? The consistent effort and your intention around how you're networking and prospecting and selling is going to carry your momentum into January and stuff like that. So make sure that you're not taking your foot off the gas just because it's hard. It's always hard. There is no easy button. The consistency makes it easier when you do a bunch of it, is the thing that I have had to learn for myself. So be consistent. If you know someone who's struggling, please share this with them. If you get stuck on a call on a sales call and you want to have us break it down and poke holes in it, because we gladly will, send us a text, 817-345-7449. We'll talk about it here on the show. We'll try to give you some feedback and hopefully something that will help you in that moment. So
and if you're scared of putting it on the show, don't worry, just text us and we'll deal with you individually too.
Absolutely.
I will be more than happy to call you individually. If you resonate with me, I will call you right now.
Absolutely. So yeah, if you're watching this on YouTube, please like and subscribe. Share this with somebody else. If you are listening to this audio, please leave us a review. It's one of the best things you can do to help promote the show, and we would appreciate it a lot. And we will see everybody next week. Thanks a lot.